So, when we're looking at ways to prototype your design for this project, for Project 1.6, there are a whole bunch of different options. The first one and the simplest one is obviously just the paper glider, which is a fancy way of saying make a paper airplane. So, when you look at doing this, when you're sketching stuff out, you really want to think about what does it need to look like. So, if I decide that in my head, well, I really want kind of a classic paper airplane, I'll have some sketches that detail that information. Okay, so just showing that I have a sort of a classic paper airplane, and I'll design sketches for that. I may even try and line up and show how the actual paper airplane is folded so that it becomes very obvious how I'm folding it from step to step to step. Okay. And then, you're going to go ahead and make it. So, it could be as simple as taking a sheet of paper and going ahead and designing a really well working paper glider. Now, this is obviously one of the simpler methods of working on this project. So one thing I do want you to realize is that if you choose to do a paper glider, you're going to have to make sure that this paper glider is very well designed, that there's a lot of background behind it, and that you've done a very good job developing your prototype. Okay, this is not going to be a situation where you can turn in just a random airplane and expect to get full credit when you're doing something that we've actually already done in class before. Okay, because once again, we did paper gliders on activity 1-1. So I want you to make sure that if you choose to do something like a paper glider, that you do go beyond the normal, which may mean everything from taking a pair of scissors and modifying the back ends to contain flaps and, elevators on the rear wings. It may mean taking the centerpiece and designing and building in a rudder that you can modify so that you can control its flight with a rudder in addition to these elevators. You may have to worry about weight and how weight has to be distributed. So if you choose to do the paper glider, that's perfectly fine, but recognize that you will have to do more than just build a random paper airplane. But that's the basics of designing and building a paper glider um, for this project, for Project 1.6.